As the earth spins and the clock spins, there's one thing that's certain: old things tend to deteriorate. Items from the past become relics in the present, and the old will be rendered outdated. Time changes, and one thing that's always changing is music. The sound of the past don't compare to now. The mixing wasn't perfected, technology wasn't that advanced, and the recording methods were downright bizarre. But with senility comes restoration. Music labels or artists will take the master of a song or an album and enhance it, remix it, or on a rare occasion, remake it. It takes the music that was inaudible and muffled and remasters it with such clarity. On the other hand, sometimes a remaster or a remix isn't necessary at all, but the label or the artist will publish it anyway. And what do you know, the original mix is gone, it's confusing to know what you're listening to, and the remaster takes out the charm. So I'm here to complain about it.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
And to not make this video an hour long, I'll use 3 bullet points. The removal of the original, the confusing title name, this is more of a nitpick, but trust me, it gets annoying when you see where I'm coming from, and the original charm is gone. One thing that's apparent when there's a new mix is that the original is on the verge of being axed off of streaming platforms. Usually the artist or the label will push the remaster or remix as a definitive way to listen to the album. All the while, they bury the original mix or outright remove it so you have no legal way to listen to the original. I mean, you can pick up the CD, good luck with that. Here's an example. Go on Spotify and try to look for Megadeth's Peace Sells original mix. And what do you know? It's not there. Well, that's Spotify, and Spotify is kinda cringe, so it's definitely on Apple Music, right? No. Well, what about these? No. What about Tidal? No. So where is it gone? It's fucking gone. It won't come back. You will never get the original back. Metallica is the worst at it, and to my surprise, even Gojira is guilty of doing this shit. Ever notice why Terror Incognita has 3 live tracks at the end of the album? Well, that's because it's the 2009 reissue. Yeah, the original is nowhere to be found. It's just a re-release, so it's not that bad, right? Yeah. However, I can't say the same for their second studio album, The Link. When I originally listened to The Link, I disliked it. It became my least favorite album. I wondered why, and come to find out, I was listening to the 2005 remaster the whole time. After I used means to find the original mix, I can now say The Link is in my top 5 favorite albums. It's amazing how the original mix made me like the album a whole lot more than the remaster. The remaster made me dislike it. If only I could have known this was the remaster. If only they kept the original on streaming. Now, if you're musically autistic like me, you probably know what Last FM is. If not, I'll quickly fill you in. It's an application that allows you to track music, albums, whatever. Even the shit that you shouldn't be listening to. Now, when it comes to it, listening to a song from a remaster or a remix could fuck up your tracking. Now, as I stated before, this is merely a nitpick, but at the same time, you have to see where I'm coming from. Let's say you want to listen to one song, and you do it, so you go see if it tracked, just for it to be tracked from another album, even though you thought it was the original, but you couldn't tell because the fucking name of the remastered song is the same as the fucking original. It's either songs with stupid ass titles, or songs with the same name, where there's no way to differentiate it. Now I want you to do me a favor, look at these 3 songs and guess, which one is the original? You thought it was this one. No, it's this one. This is the original. No way to tell, huh? Unless you check the album. I'm so tired of these fucking annoying ass remastered song titles. This is it. This is why I made this video. At the all artists have visions, and they put their soul, emotions, and most importantly, they put their skill into their music. The one thing they do to express their feelings is to record it, then they put it on the song. Usually the mixing of said song helps relay their message. Sometimes the mixing can be messy, unorganized. It usually shows how the artist could be going through something, mental decline or a troubling time, etc. But if that song with all that emotion gets popular enough, it'll soon get hit with a remaster, and before you know it, the soul gone. But please, you don't have to take my word for it. brother, I got a question for you real quick. What do you think about Megadeth's original mix of Rust in Peace?
In my opinion, Rust in Peace is Megadeth's magnum opus, not only because of its beautiful, by no means had a bad production, no sounding one, which would ultimately peak.
Alright, I get it. Now, alright, what do you think about the 2004 remix?
Oh, uh, it's it's
I don't think he likes it. Music production is a hard thing to do. It's a hard thing to master, but if it's done right, well, let me explain. There's 3 types of production. Underproduction is when the mixing is barely used and songs just raw. Sometimes that unfiltered stuff is good, sometimes it's awful. Like my music. Good production is in the name. Everything is perfect. The raw emotion is still there, but it sounds crisp and clear. And finally, overproduction. There's no emotion, and everything sounds like it was created by an AI. A good example of this is Meshuggah's Nothing. Now, I love Nothing. It's straight peak fiction, and it got a remaster. To give context, Meshuggah's Nothing was released in 2002, and then Meshuggah released an experimental album called Catch 33. It's a concept album that's supposed to be listened to in one long sitting because it's one long song. During the creation of said album, the frontman, Jens Kidman, decided to use a virtual drum program so that way the drummer, Tomas Hawk, didn't have to train himself learning new drum patterns as this album was being made. And not that it sounds bad, no, it sounds good, it sounds great, but herein lies the problem. When Nothing was being recorded, Friedrich Thordendale and Martin Hagstrom were using 7-string guitars. That means they had to down-tune their guitars, which was fucking heavy. It was awesome. When Meshuggah made the switch to 8-string, they decided to remaster Nothing in 2005. And so, yeah, it's gonna get even heavier. Everything looked so perfect. But it all fell flat because they used the fucking virtual drums. This fucking remaster made an amazing album sound like a cheap cover band tribute. Listen to Rational Gaze from the original mix and then the 2005 mix. Listen to that drumming. I want you to listen to that China cymbal. They fumbled the fucking bag. Now, even though I'm more for the artist's original mix and their vision, that's not to say all remasters or mixes are bad. They improve the song and they restore what the artist wants to express. But when they are bad, yeah, they're garbage.